I just want to throw a quick warning out there that this episode contains quite a lot of commentary around rape. We definitely don't condone that sort of behavior, and that's something that we ourselves all find pretty appalling. But I just want to put a little sensitivity warning out there, I guess, or just something that if it's not your cup of tea, then this episode probably isn't for you. Everything we do and say in regards to the topic in this episode is all incomplete parody, and it's something that you can't watch this film and avoid the topic of. It's such a huge problem with this film and such a huge part of it that we have to make commentary on it. Some of it, though, may offend, so this is our warning.
Warning, the following podcast contains foul language, politically incorrect comments, and humor. I just realized my voice went super stupid. Like, that's American as. I'm just going to do... Yeah. Warning, the following podcast contains foul language, politically incorrect comments, and humor, erotic content, and Australians. Listeners' discretion is advised.
Welcome back to another episode of It's a Bit Shit. Joining me as always, and I'm really going to regret saying it, but I'm still going to do it because Aaron told me to say it, are my bukakers, Aaron.
Hello.
And Peter.
Hello.
And our guest joining us tonight, our bukaki, if you will, is Peter's wonderful wife, Monica.
Hi.
What a great way to...
Oh, God.
Monica, the first question I have to ask you is how are your feet?
Licked.
Oh, fuck off.
Vindication.
And Peter, next question I have to ask you is out of 10, how's the mouth feel?
My mouth feel. That's right. Fuck, I forgot about mouth feel. Oh, at least... wait,
It's the
my
most
wife, so
important
it's a 10
feel.
out of 10, of course, obviously. Can't get that wrong.
No, you can't. Oh, how is everyone? Is everyone okay? Is everyone feeling good?
Groovy, baby.
Groovy, baby. Wonderful. All right, well, then let's get straight into it. What are we doing this week, Peter?
Regretfully, Back to the Future, Part 1.
Fuck yes.
Now, Aaron, do you want to explain to us why we're doing Back to the Future?
Oh, let me just talk a bit real quick. Let's get this real close to my face. Peter's destroyed everything I've loved. So now he gets to have something that he loves destroyed.
I like how your main love is just Metallica, and you've destroyed it, and now
Yes, I have
gotta
one
take
thing.
and now I'll take vengeance on you.
Yeah. And it will be mine.
The still unreleased episode of Metallica, but yeah.
Yeah. It'll probably never air, but
we just keep talking about it. So people are like, I want to hear that Metallica episode. Then they hear it like, that was shit. Why'd you even do it?
yeah, you
We
don't.
did it at the start, you fucks. Yeah,
No, don't listen to it, guys. It's just bad. Don't put yourself through that.
yeah. The Metallica album, yeah, I know it's fucking pretty bad.
We are here to talk about Back to the Future, though, aren't we?
We are definitely here.
Awesome. Peter, you want to give me some music and I'll introduce this thing?
Oh yeah.
Back to the Future. What do you get when you take a time machine, a crazy white man with whiter hair, and his young, dumb, hormonal teenage friend? You get Rick and Morty. I mean, Back to the Future. Directed and half-written by Robert Zemeckis, the film released in 1985 to critical and commercial success, groping a whopping $381.5 million, which was a lot in the 80s. The film became the highest-grossing film for 1985 and went on to win an Academy Award. In its years since the release, the film is widely considered to be one of the best films of the 80s and one of the best science fiction films ever made. Back to the Future as a film takes us on a journey back in time to 1955, where a young Michael J. Fox must do his best to not bang his mum, while simultaneously trying to convince his mum that the creepy and pathetic man who watches her get changed from a tree outside her house is the man she's supposed to be with. That's heavy, but hey, sure sounds like great science fiction to me. So load up your plutonium, oh my god. So load up your plutonium, engage the flux capacitor, and put your damn pedal to the metal. Because it's time we tell you why Back to the Future is a bit shit. You went hard there, Pete. Yeah. It was very ominous and dark. It wasn't really like
That was a
as upbeat
major
as I was
chord.
hoping.
Thank you very much, Sam.
I felt like I was getting married. That's all.
It was a bit churchy.
Yeah, it was a bit churchy.
Churchy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Which is weird because you're so against like
All that
Churches.
shit.
Catholic church.
Yeah, a little bit, tiny bit. I don't know. Something about the boys. I don't know. The little ones.
Something for you. About-
No, something about them and the little boys. It's just it doesn't do
Something
it for
just
me.
gets them going.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Well, let's start with the good. Do we actually like it?
Where you want to start with this?
I'm gonna start with Aaron.
Yeah, Aaron. What do you think, bro?
Were we doing the questions now?
Yeah. We're on
Yeah, I
questions.
actually
mate.
enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was a really fun movie until I had to destroy it, and then I couldn't watch it. I watched it, but I couldn't. Yeah, no, I've enjoyed the movie. Would I watch it again anytime soon? No, because I have destroyed it for me. But it was fun.
Monica, do you like Back to the Future?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Are you just saying that because Peter's here? You don't want to hurt his
Yes.
feelings.
It's good. Very good. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Really.
The end.
It's fine. Like, it's fun. If you don't think about it, it's fun.
Yep. Peter.
Cinematic masterpiece.
In your little intro, you said like one of the greatest sci-fi movies of the 80s or
Yeah.
of all time. Have they not seen Blade Runner? Like,
One of though.
oh, all right,
Yeah, come on, mate.
all right.
Let's just not get held up on a couple of words here and there, eh?
All right, let it slide.
Yeah. No.
And now we have to add Blade Runner to our list of films
you.
as well.
I was
Which
actually thinking
it's
about this
going to
the
hurt
other
me
day.
too, so it's
Yeah.
okay.
I love them. I love Back to the Future. It's part of my okay. There's a lot of nostalgic value to it, obviously. Being an '80s boy, yeah. No, it's like one of those films that I had on DVD, had on VHS. Like I've watched the shit out of this film, like the absolute shit out of this film. Some things I noticed that I didn't notice because I didn't have to. But yeah, no, I've seen this film. I probably didn't even have to watch it to really review it, but I did, and I enjoyed it still while shitting all over it.
Yeah.
Smile on your face, tear running down one
I'm
of your
like,
cheeks.
This is so beautiful, fucking this thing. Yeah, it was like that, exactly like that. What about you, Sammy boy?
I think just like you, and I just grew up on these films as well. Back to the Future 2 is actually my favorite, not number one, which is apparently blasphemy in the world. But
Yeah.
I think when I was a kid, I just really enjoyed the futury stuff more and the hoverboards and that stuff than I did.
80s version of the future.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was the jam, man. It was the coolest shit ever. But yeah, I always really liked Back to the Future. It was always one of those really good films that I thoroughly enjoyed. So this was difficult. It's not the most difficult thing we've done, but it was. I still got like 4 pages, but it was, not easy.
No.
No.
It hurts. Not as much as the Black Album, but yeah, no, it still hurts.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
it
the
really
Black
it was a
Album
real
hurts,
struggle
yes.
doing the Black Album. That's
Yeah.
such a masterpiece. Ugh.
Thank you, guys. I'm so glad we've got that as evidence now. Thank you.
Yeah.
I need that to heal. I feel like I can heal now.
It just becomes your ringtone as me saying it's a masterpiece.
Knock one out to it.
It's beautiful. You just book on the Black Album.
Yeah,
Book Album.
too far away.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'd be.
Monica, this is your chance to get ahead.
Hey,
There you go.
because we keep pointing to these. It's a tally.
Which we'll never take, but
Yeah, we'll never take, but someone will. Someone
Yeah.
listening will. All right, look, I don't think there's too much more to go. We all really like the film. We all think it's a great film.
Yep.
So I think the more exciting part of this conversation is to talk about what's not so great about this film and what really hurt us about this film. So what's going to happen and what you're going to start hearing is Monica actually delivering all the things that Peter would normally write, because Peter generally steals Monica's notes.
They'll watch it together, and she'll be like, "Oh, that's bad," and and he's just like, "I'm gonna write this down. This is really good."
this is good stuff. Keep it coming. Keep it coming.
So Pete's probably not going to have any notes, but that's okay. He did already copy Monica's. So anyway, let's start talking about why it's a bit shit. Peter, we'll start with you.
Okay.
We'll just start. Let's not even start with anything. Let's just go chronologically. Let's just work our way through the film and bring up points as we go through it.
Okay. My first thing was like, the first opening scene is like, okay, I get it. The dude's into time travel, but what's that got to do with fucking clocks?
Yeah, the clock thing makes no sense to me either.
Yeah, like it.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It's like, I get it, you're into time, but the concept of time and keeping time are two totally different things.
Yeah.
So it's like,
But his
it's-
experiment work, they're all 25 minutes behind.
yeah, which
What?
makes no sense. Exactly, yeah. Unless there was like running like
I
the
think
a
that's
field.
just a
like-
running joke. I feel like he's like, oh look, he does time things. Oh no, I'm late for school.
Yeah, it's so dumb.
Jeez.
But he has his own watch on his hand, didn't he?
Yeah, he had his own watch.
Like,
Did he? Yeah. I didn't fucking notice that. Yeah,
He
okay.
got a little
We noticed it when he was
shell shocked because of where he plugs the guitar in and he just like turns it up to like what would should have melted his brain and have his eyes pop out of his skull. But then he does like a one little strum, flies back 30 meters or whatever the
he was
fuck.
passed out for 20 minutes.
Yeah, passed out for 20 minutes. That was the experiment, guys. We figured it out.
Yeah, I guess straight off the bat, yeah, that's a dumb thing. My first like thought that came to my mind because I've seen this too many times is like, okay, I know I haven't questioned this before, but I have to because I'm questioning it. Why is he hanging out with this dude?
Yeah,
he's
I've
grooming
often.
him.
That's what I wrote.
I've
Grooming
often thought
a
that.
young man is like my thing.
I feel like he like.
I mean, there's a difference between grooming and like, an apprentice.
Yeah,
well,
I
he's not
suppose,
really.
but he's not
a
into
science
science.
dude.
Yeah,
You just hang.
Calling
Like,
him to meet him in the middle of the night in a parking lot.
he's got a.
And he's
come
all
to my
like,
van.
sure.
Yeah,
I googled.
and Marty's just like, oh, okay.
yeah.
I googled that and it's called dogging, and it's not what you think.
The whole him plugging in the thing, winding it up, and cranking it. His ears are bleeding.
We are all in agreement that like if that was powerful enough to blow him across the room, then he's probably also deaf
Yeah.
and maybe dead.
Yeah,
That
he has
phone,
brain injury.
that phone is ringing in the room. Like, you can't hear it. Like,
Yeah.
there's no chance.
Just tinnitus for the rest of his life
It's-
if he somehow survives.
He's like, Doc, is that you, Doc?
Always thinks there's a mosquito around. He's like, where the fuck is this thing?
I need to go back in time and stop myself from doing this. Yeah, that's the whole premise of the film.
I
Done.
thought that he was just like his helping hand and he would record things in exchange for just fucking around with like his big amp.
I mean,
That
yeah.
was the only thing I could think of, like why you'd want to hang out with like a 70, 80-year-old dude in a basement somewhere.
Yeah, and like almost in the car park of like a HJ's or something like that.
Yeah,
Or Burger King.
Two Pine Mall.
Yes.
What about like just Doc Brown as well? Like, is he a bad inventor? Like,
Yes.
but isn't like this is the same sort of thing we have with something else. We also can't remember what it was, but
he's never made anything that worked, and he hit his
That was
head
in the
one time.
50s.
Yeah, but he hit his head one time, and then was like, "Oh my god, this is probably time travel or something." I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out 30 years from now.
the terrible line that I wrote is the intro trying to tell us that Doc is a bad inventor or just a nutty professor? I know, it's really funny, guys.
Well,
Thank you.
The things that like his automated system in his house was pretty like, I mean, for the 80s would have been pretty crazy.
The dog food thing.
Yeah, the
You'd
dog
think
food
if you're
thing.
gonna fuck
and it
off
makes
for
eggs.
a bunch of
It makes
time,
eggs
Yeah.
for you.
turn
it
off the dog food thing.
Yeah, you would think you would turn the stuff off for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's just too.
If he's really smart and he has a dog called Einstein, have the dog go up and just push like a fucking paw print on the ground and have like then have it operate.
Yeah, that makes a
So
lot of
just
sense.
waste like a bunch of food. If there's a bunch of food on the floor, the dog's going to eat it.
Yeah. We
Even
can
if
eat
the
it
dog
anyway.
just keeps hitting it and hitting it and hitting it. The dog's just like, I'm going to get fat as fuck. This is great.
Yeah, good teaching for dogs. Yeah.
I don't remember what other thing we were talking about. We were talking about something else a while ago, and it was like they do a really bad job of trying to show you whether the character's smart or an idiot. It's the same sort of thing with like Doc Brown, as he comes off as like he's got like a brain and he knows what he's talking about some of the film, but then the other part's like, whoa, I'm just silly and I'm crazy, which leads into another point I have, which is that every single character in this film feels like they're parodying a character they should be. Anyone that isn't like Marty, basically, feels
he's
like they're
also
like,
parodying it.
Yeah, everyone's a stereotype.
Every
Oh,
80s
man.
teenager.
All stereotypes.
oh, it hurts so much.
Yeah, that's it. That's
But
it.
they all come together, guys, with the power of love.
That was better than my Nutty Professor joke, bro. I'm going to steal it. The power of love. There we go.
Oh.
Which leads me to another note, like for all the entire first hour? Well, no, how long were they in the 80s before they go back? Like maybe the first half an hour of the film. That song plays like 14 times. Like it's like that. Oh, we have rights to one song, and we're
Well,
gonna
like,
use
he
that
made it
shit
for
up.
that movie.
Yeah, but like there
So
could
like,
be
if you pay a lot of money for that song, you're gonna use the fuck out of that song.
So it's all playing throughout him trying to like when he's constantly getting cock blocked by everything when he's trying to kiss his missus. He plays it and as in the jam thing to try and get the dance.
A Battle of the Bands.
The Battle of the Bands. It plays like as he's riding his skateboard behind.
You were about to
cars.
say Scooter, weren't you?
A little bit. Twice, 2 different times it plays.
Yep.
It plays as he's leaving the It's just constantly playing. It's just like dun dun every time he just like walks into screen. It's like fuck, dude. Yes, we get it. You got the rest of this song.
Yeah, it didn't even bother me.
I know.
I didn't even notice that. I didn't even
Yeah,
bother
you know
me
what?
once.
It didn't until you're like, hey, find stuff to shit about this film, and then it did.
Fair enough. That school's in the fucking ghetto there, right? Holy shit.
Well,
Yeah.
the whole town is like fucked up. Like, did you see there was like an adult bookstore, and then across from that was a cinema that was just
Yeah,
like
cinema was playing porn.
it was like orgy something.
An American orgy.
An American
I caught
orgy.
that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was always porn.
So it was. I think that's just to like foreshadow how shit everything is. And then you go into like the 50s. Spoiler alert. And then it's just like everything's like that typical American dream of like how when people think back of the 50s in America, they're just like, "Come on down, get your cigarettes." Like,
But it's like, it's almost like they was trying to do like whilst in the end of the film, Marty's changed everything for the better. He really just changed his family, but it actually changed the whole town.
Well,
Yeah.
kind of did. They were still living in. The thing is, they were still living in Lionsgate or wherever it was. No, what was that estate called? Lions Estate.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, but wasn't everything like tidier and cleaner and nicer
didn't
and
Yeah.
wasn't a shithole?
It became
Well,
an
he came
actual
back
estate.
and there was a homeless man and a bunch of trash around the street. Like,
It's still
okay.
it's
Okay.
still
All right,
America.
it's still a shithole.
Like,
Okay, cool. That's cool.
What else did I say? I was just like, what did the others say about the fucking Biff? It was just like as if you'd loaned that card to that cockface. You just
Oh,
wouldn't-
but also, man, like that's just that whole scene at the start with the family is so frustrating to watch.
like where they're
Yeah.
eating food or
Yeah, just every time that whole family's there, it's so painful to watch. Like the bad makeup on the
the
mum.
old people makeup on.
man,
Oh,
I was gonna say like for the time, man, it wasn't bad.
nah, that was all
That was bad.
It was
You reckon
all
for the
bad,
time?
Even for the time.
Man, they won awards for that shit.
The only one who didn't look fucked up was George McFly. To me,
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, oh, when young, I was like, holy fuck, he had makeup on as well.
Yeah.
But like everyone's, especially like Biff and Lorraine's, theirs was.
Yeah,
fucking
they're
horrible.
harder. I think it's harder to make like a woman look like
Biff's not a
third-
woman.
He said it. Biff's a woman.
Sorry, Pete.
like with Lorraine, I think it's harder to make a woman look older, like appropriately, without going like haggard.
It was like they caked it on.
Yeah,
Like they had no choice. They couldn't just like put some bags under her eyes. They're like, we're gonna make your face droop.
yeah, because they're not going for like their oldest time. They're going for like they're 30 years older. So it's like a hard task. Like I'm not gonna shit on the makeup because I know it's got to be hard.
Well, I'm shitting on the makeup. It was painful and
Yeah,
it
but you're a
annoyed me.
piece of shit,
It annoyed me. Biff though,
makeup.
really annoying. Biff really fucking annoying.
Yeah, super annoying.
Never wanted to like.
I've got some stuff for Biff at the end of the movie that I'm gonna just like vent.
Okay.
He is human garbage. Actor, great actor.
Yeah.
Like he acted so well, I hated him. That's how.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is spot on. Actually, he annoyed me to no fucking end.
Yeah.
I hated him so much.
It's a good
Yeah.
sign. Straight skipping to the DeLorean reveal. Why is there smoke machines running like flat in the back of that car in that truck? Like what? Like and how the fuck did that cunt get in the car from the back of the truck? Like if you drove the truck there, got in the vehicle to like reverse it out.
like a front panel or something, like from the
know,
front cabin to the back.
The
I don't know.
fucking DeLorean doors open up upwards. You can't like go.
Does it have
and, like,
windows?
I don't think it does.
he has a remote.
Maybe
Yeah, like,
he
he
has a
comes
shrink
out of it.
ray in there as well.
Yeah, it's like why the fuck is and yeah, why is there like so much smoke machine? Like what is causing that?
I just said was Doc hotboxing the car. Because when he gets out, there's just so much smoke that
And then you
comes
see
out.
his hair all
Marty,
frizzy
is
and
that-
shit, and you're just like, oh, he is hotboxing.
Marty, is that you? Like did you bring the cameraman? Yeah. Yeah, that was like it makes no sense. Dumb.
one other thing that really pissed me off was how depressing the family is. Like, I get it, they're supposed to be depressing, but they're just like, they're like a bad emo song. Like, you can't finish it because it's just so whingy and annoying. That's sort of what
like
that
Air Supply because it's the 80s and stuff.
Sure. Yeah. That's what watching that family looks. They're just so depressing. Like, it's
They
just
probably tell that story about how they met like every day because it's too much of a coincidence that they're like, oh, this is how we met, and then he sees them meet. So they must like tell that every single day.
They're like, we know it, Mom. Oh, the dad just looked happy as fuck. Like, I think he got hit in the head too many times by Biff in this particular scenario because he's just like laughing at the TV with fucking cereal at dinner time, just like.
He's a fucking.
And he's just like fucking shoveling like rice bubbles or whatever the fuck down his gullet, and he's just like laughing like a retarded kid.
Yep. Yeah, annoying.
Dumb. Super dumb.
Yep.
The remote control. This thing can be remote controlled. I mean, I know this is like looking out of just the one movie, but that is never touched again for 3 films that you can run the DeLorean on a fucking remote control.
It's because I've been driving it this whole time.
Yeah.
I know, but like, if you could fucking remote control the thing, wouldn't you think you would?
You'd use that
What
power.
for?
You'd use that power for evil. I've already figured it out. You go to pizza and you're like, oh, I gotta like wait 20 minutes. You're like, no, I'll just drop it off in the DeLorean, and then you just drive the DeLorean there into the future. Pizza, drive it back.
Sam, you ready? Number 2, when it gets fucking stolen, where is the cunt? Just comes back like.
I mean, you have to know where it was. It has to be in range.
Yeah, but-
There's a lot of problems with like
Yeah, but
remote
you think
control
that
vehicles.
if the dude could create a remote control vehicle, he could create like a tracker for the fucking thing. But anyway, that's not this film.
He's only good at inventing some things, like remote controls and time travel.
Let's quickly talk about the animal testing.
And in that,
Poor puppy.
have you ever put your handbrake on and rev the shell of the car and then like go and then reach like 140 kilometers per hour?
That's not how it works.
Yeah, like has that ever happened to anyone?
Not
here?
how it works.
Yeah, because that's what happened.
Wait, were you
I'm
doing
aware.
that with the remote control, or were you doing that like in the car?
Yeah, true that.
See,
Maybe
this is-
without, just the weight of one dog in
Yeah.
the car. Yeah, maybe.
I think it's really fucked up. They put a dog in the car.
Yeah,
couldn't
I
he
know.
have just gotten like a soft toy? Like he could have done the exact same thing with the soft toy.
He could have just put the stopwatch in the car.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be
Yeah.
around anything. He's like, look at the stopwatch, puts it on the seat, drives it. Hey, look, it's a minute different.
Also, we have to see what it does to organic matter.
Yeah.
Oh well, he's still alive. Cool, it works. Like,
And has anyone ever put like a dog in a car? Like they don't fucking sit still. They're going on a fucking car ride. Like all the buttons would be pressed. Like we hardly know where the fuck that dog's going. Like
Now, this dog's Einstein. He's a little smart boy.
yeah.
He's a good boy.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of plot riding on. He's a good boy.
Yeah.
Like he's a good boy.
but like, realistically, Back to the Future is like science fiction for vanilla people. It's like the vanilla science fiction film.
For jocks. It's science fiction for jocks.
Jocks, yeah, like it really is. Like I'm not saying, again.
Yeah,
I love the
period,
films.
Yeah,
But it's science fiction for jocks. It's so surface level.
yeah. How am I not into Metallica as well? Like
I ask myself that question every day. You're the beard for it, man.
Cry yourself to sleep at night because Peter doesn't like Metallica, but he should.
Yeah. That's the main thing I'm confused with. I'm like, I see Peter and I'm like, finally, another Metallica fan. And you're like, hate him. And I was like, what? But
Yes.
the beard.
but the beard says so much. Yeah.
All right, we're still.
I guess, yeah.
Have we traveled back in time yet? We're still got. We got any
No,
more
I have
gripes?
one thing.
Yep.
The Libyans' accents very good. Like, not for their like, oh, that's a great Libyan accent. Like, their English is on point.
Also, I don't know if you noticed, but when they come into frame, they turn their lights on.
Yes, I do remember that.
But later in the film, when they drive past Marty, their lights are already on. So
Yeah.
why? What are they doing with the lights?
Well, no, because they would turn them off before they got there to make sure that he was there, so they didn't spook anyone. And then when they see him, they turn the lights and
You're driving a fucking like a
V-dub.
minivan, like a V-dub. Who the fuck is going to be like? Oh no, who's this? Like it's a V-dub. It could be anyone.
nah,
No, it's clearly terrorists.
clearly terrorists in a
Yeah, like,
V-dub. Yeah,
Terrorists in a
Sherpa
V-dub.
Sherpa, Muhammad Jihad.
Yeah.
Exactly. But they're just like, quick, get him. Faster. He went that way. And I was just like, man, that English is good.
I don't know. That's
And I think they were Mexican. I'm putting it. I'm like 90% sure they were Mexican, and with a.
They're just Robert Zemeckis just someone that's tanned. Just give me someone that's tanned.
get him a tan and a tea towel. Like we're ready to roll.
It's the 80s. We can get away with it.
Yeah.
I think they had a tea towel like the red and white, like
Yeah. It was dead set. Like I'm pretty sure there were tea towels that
like
they
not
were
the
wearing.
actual like head garment that they've been seen to wear. Like just that it was a tea towel wrapped around with like
Yeah.
a rubber band or something. Terrorist.
terrorist. Straight up.
Awesome.
To be fair though, if you're capable of wearing that, like what are you capable of doing? Like a tea towel, like a literal tea towel.
Yeah, if you don't caution to the wind, you don't care about anything.
Yeah.
Oh, the bomb was never really spoken about much either.
Yeah.
The bomb he was supposed to be building.
He's like, oh, plot armor. I was supposed to make him a bomb, but I didn't. I made him a shit one, and I've stolen it. I was like, there's no more repercussions from that.
Yeah.
There could have been more.
Yeah.
I wanted more about the bomb
Yep. But he can
Why
time
did
travel
he
now.
say yes to make a bomb?
because he wanted plutonium.
He wanted the
Yeah,
plutonium.
but
He wanted 1 point whatever bajigawatts or whatever.
Yeah, 1.1, 1.3.
did he take out a
gigawatts.
Craigslist ad? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah,
we'll make a
Libyans.
bomb for the right amount of plutonium.
Put it in a newspaper.
Men looking for a boom.
That gets them something very different.
Looking for a good time. And how much plutonium? Like, so if you use that entire box of plutonium, so like, yeah, each time's a trip, and he was going to use all of that to just make a bomb. Fuck me, that would have been a big bomb. Like, wouldn't you just give him one? Just like, oh fuck it, yeah, one.
I think the
bomb.
whole point was he didn't want to kill people.
Yeah, he wants to build a time
He just
machine.
wanted to build a time machine.
Yeah.
He wasn't like, I want to make a time machine and fight for this cause. He was like, I just want the plutonium.
We can make like a mini bomb, like a little one.
He doesn't want to make a bomb. I think
Just a tiny bomb though. Just one that goes. Poof.
I think that's what he did. Like he just
Yeah, he made
sizzled.
them a bomb, but it was
It's
shit.
just like, hey, it's a bomb. And they're like, thank God. And they've strapped it to somebody or where some place. And they've sort of,
Yeah,
he's like, that's what plutonium does. It makes that noise and that's it.
and then you're actually dead. Like that's what's happened. Like
Mm.
you think you're alive, but you're dead. Science.
we ready to go to...
Ready to go back?
I was going to say Back
we
to the
going
Future. That
back?
doesn't make sense.
Are we going back?
Are we ready to go back in time?
future?
Oh yeah.
Are we done with the 80s now?
Let's do
Yes, potentially.
All right. The first
Oh,
thing.
Actually, no, I have one more thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm fucking. Pepsi was just like the product placement in that was fucking ridiculous. When Marty wakes up, can of Pepsi above his bed. When he's drinking it at the dinner table, can of Pepsi in his hand. Just like
But only the no sugar one, which he makes a point of.
Yeah, he's like, what about this? Tab, I think, is also owned by a Pepsi company.
it. Yeah.
The product placement in that was garbage.
Sorry, I have
It
one
wasn't
more.
Transformers, but it was garbage.
Yeah, it was.
One more thing in like the last seconds of being in the 80s is he's trying to get away from these guys. He cracks it into like the fifth gear, whatever. He downshifts like fucking his Dominic Toretto, whatever fuck. Yeah, no, sorry.
Some fan, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wow.
I know. He's aiming towards stands. Like if you're getting away and you don't know you're going to disappear, and like before you get there, why is he driving towards the stands? Like the thing with the terrorist drive through.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're like, why? If you were like, I'm just going to get the fuck out of here, why would you drive directly at something? Apart from the fact that you're going to disappear because it's a time machine. But if you didn't know that, he knew it was a time machine, but he didn't know that he cracked it
going
on.
to go back in time.
Yeah. Why did he drive at that?
The car wouldn't have even made it that far. It wouldn't have gone to 88 miles an hour that quick.
No.
Because it does 60 miles in 8.8 seconds.
Yeah,
I did the
right.
research.
Yeah, no, fair call.
So it wouldn't have been able to
what
go
about with
back
the
in
hand?
time.
What happens if you quickly throw on the handbrake?
Ah, see, they didn't account for handbrake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, we're now back to the future of the past.
So we can go back to the future of the past. We can go to 1955 now.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, first thing. Another ginger kid with a punchable face at the barn.
Oh, yeah.
Straight up. His little kid's just like, it's one of these. And he whips out a comic book, and I was like, oh, there's that punchable face we've been waiting for.
Because you get what you do is you get this feeling like there's an emptiness when you look at him, like there's
He
nothing
looked
to
like-
love. You know?
I'm not saying all gingers look the same, but he looked like the ginger dude from Jurassic Park. So
Did you also notice that his sister's like 40 something? Like,
no.
she's so much older than he is. Like, and like she could have just been like the same age as the parents, but just bending down a little bit. Like, I'm a kid. Like, no, you're not. You old as fuck.
I didn't notice either of those things, but now that you guys are bringing them up, I'm having flashbacks, which is great.
Just you just like a ginger kid flashing in your eyes. You're like, no.
Oh, no, I can't say, oh, no.
No, Timmy, you're useless. The dinosaurs are coming.
Dinosaur's gonna eat you. Dinosaur's gonna eat you.
Oh, fuck. Okay. One thing that really fucks me off about these films, I think fucks me off a lot about like just like comedies in general, and especially like sequels, is lazy writing. And it really annoys me that they just repeat the same scenes. Like they literally write the same thing twice with like his dad in the house with Biff, and they write the exact same scene again in the bar, in the little in the cafe in the diner. When he's in the diner, it's the exact same scene. They just change that it's for homework and not for work. That's all they do.
But I think at the same time that
No, it's lazy writing. Like you could still get that same point across, but write the scene differently.
The whole movie just finger fucks you with blatant foreshadowing, like through all of it.
Oh yeah, there's like there's a guy hanging from the clock at the start of it.
Yeah.
Like when they're showing the clocks at the start of the film and foreshadowing, like there's like a guy hanging from one of those clocks that we were bitching about before.
Yep.
But I don't like the fact that it's lazy writing to me that you've just repeated the same fucking thing again. It's like watching Hangover 1 and Hangover 2. It's the same film 2 times.
and Joker.
Joker and King of Comedy.
Or Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2.
Oh, Back to the Future and Back to the Future 2. That's right. Except Back to the Future 2 introduces the nobody calls me chicken thing, which they don't do in this one, which I only worked out today when I was reading the fan fiction.
Spoilers, man. I haven't read it yet.
Yeah, spoilers. But yeah, for me, that's just lazy writing. Like, it's just like you could still show that Biff still bullies pathetic George McFly without just writing the same scene and changing the words around.
Yeah.
I think it's just showing that they're real basic ass characters, like the people.
Yeah.
Biff isn't a very smart dude. He's only get him to do one thing, and it's just write shit. That's it. Full stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the high school level, like, what's he really writing? Like, what's going to be so hard?
My thing is, like, he's been bullied by him, like, all these years. He finally gets Lorraine, blah, blah, blah. Why didn't they move?
Yeah, why are they still there?
Why are they still there?
Because they want to hang around the rapist for years.
Yeah, exactly. He's like, hey, man, you almost raped my woman, but let me write you something. That's it with the end as well. How
Yeah.
they're like, they still have the rapist there. And he's like, well, but now he's washing our car.
Because that's not traumatic at all.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you married the right guy, the pervert.
Peeping Tom.
Creepy. Right. Anyone else got anything else while we're here?
No,
So we're first scenes of the 50s, aren't we? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, daughter on the farm, drives around the farm. Oh, yeah, how he drives from... Okay, so when he first hits the farm, he's like, I'm getting the fuck out of here. It's like, what was it, 1:30? It would have been like
1:30.
1:30 in the morning. He leaves the farm,
He drives for 12 hours.
drives for 12 hours, pulls up, like just out of town, like just in town, where he's meant to go.
You see, time's different back in 1955.
Yeah, because you look at like, it's like clearly midday, and he's just like, whoa, let's get it together, like takes his thing off. The thing runs out of fuel. It's like, of course it has. You're driving for 12 hours flat, like, and some.
Yeah, every car's going to run out of fuel at some stage.
Yeah, like if you've been driving for that long. And it's like, how did you go from the mall to just where your estate used to be? And it's taken you that long to drive in a very quite a fast car in the 50s. Why is it midday?
Let me just throw this out there. I don't think DeLoreans were exactly fast cars.
They could go to 88 miles per hour.
That's
think
pretty fast.
They go 60 kilometers.
I don't even think they were a desirable vehicle or an exotic or sports car or anything.
The dude who made the car used to work for like an actual big sports car company, and then whatever cars he made became really popular, and he decided to go off in his own thing and start making cars, which was that DeLorean was his first car.
Yeah.
A year before this movie came out, he got done with like $25 million worth of coke.
My man.
And then like this movie came out, and he was just like, "You saved me. People want to buy my car again," because it was one of the most expensive, quote unquote, like sport-ish sort of cars
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there. Like every other car was like, for that sort of grade, was a good like 10 grand less than this thing.
Yeah, okay.
That's produced. Yeah.
But Coke, so it's a Coke car. You can Google that.
That's
There's a
beautiful.
lot of room in the that front trunk for that.
Yeah.
My next thing I have is about George McFly being a creep. So if anyone has anything,
That is
before
literally my next line
Yeah.
too.
All
Yeah.
right, let's just drill into the George McFly situation then, shall we? Monica, do you want to start us off?
I'm just like, he's a creep. Like, why? If you see that as a kid, would you be like, oh yeah, you're the guy for my mom? Like,
Yeah, I'm gonna stop myself from
Even
existing right now. Yeah.
yeah, like,
He was pretty
disgusting.
disgusted with it, though. He's like, "Oh God, my dad's a peeping tom," or
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he's pretty gross himself. So,
yeah,
like Marty.
yeah. Marty is gross, but
Yeah.
he was also disgusted with that. He's like, "Oh, gross," which just goes to show like how fucked up George McFly actually was.
Yeah, it's like, come on, man. And he's like climbed a tree with fucking binoculars to look across the street. Like,
That's pretty desperate.
yeah.
Yeah, it's like we look outside this window here and we're like, "Oh look, George is still there."
Yeah. I mean, I guess like porn probably wasn't anywhere near as good back then.
They had magazines
Yeah,
with some boob,
maybe.
50s boob.
I've actually got like a 1955 porn magazine in my collection outside there.
And
so
you didn't bring one in. What is
it's
this?
next level. It's all black and white. I didn't even realize I had it. I was like, because I'm moving house, that's why there's boxes everywhere. But I was like emptying my shit, and I like found this box. Look, what's in here? And there's like this old, like, it was like girls having fun or something stupid. I like tried googling it, but no one. Has ever
But is
apparently
it
ever seen this
gals
book.
having fun?
I don't know, but it's just like boobs in black and white.
Are they pointy?
They're pointy and perky. Yes, definitely. Yes, it's a crazy time. We'll have to post.
it
some
actually from
pictures.
the 50s?
Yeah, straight up. It's like 58 or something like that. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, my great granddad had just like this epic amount of porn when he died.
He's a creep too.
And
I
when he
inherited
died,
all of it.
my mum and dad went through it all and kept a couple of them because they were like black labels and stuff like that.
I like how porn somehow become one of these collectible items where it's like your great granddad had a stash of porn, and like however many generations later, you're like, and I've got it in my garage. And it's amazing.
At least it's not under his bed. Like,
We don't know that.
yeah.
The 55's out in the garage. We don't know what ones he's got on the bed. They're the good ones.
He scanned them all.
Are they
Digitized them.
Did you?
Are they sealed with like wax or something?
I do have a 2000 Penthouse Black Label, but I gave it to my nephew for his 18th birthday in like a time capsule thing.
Now I have a question.
Yeah.
What is a black label?
Black Labels are like the limited edition ones. Like they're the collectibles.
So let me get this straight.
Now, to be fair, it sounds like I'm like a really big porn guy right now, but I'm not. This is all shit I got from my granddad, and I just happen to have laying around that I haven't like thrown out. They've just like stayed in these milk crates for ages.
Sure, Sam.
I have the internet. I don't need magazines.
You've really got to give it like a big old A. Like the marketing guy for Playboy or whichever magazine it is, 110%. He was like, no, we'll release one with a black label, and that's a collector's item.
Exactly.
And people are like, fuck yeah, where can I buy one?
Wow, wow, it's a collector, and all the pages still open.
Hey, look, all the pages still open on the ones I've got too. All right, now what we were talking about was George McFly being a creep.
Yes.
Maybe old men were creeps in the 50s.
It's like there's just like this allowance for people being creepier and rapier and grosser in that time period. I don't know.
I think that's where the phrase like, oh, boys will be boys sort of came from, and it just sort of didn't die off.
He just raped her. It's not a big deal.
Back in my day, you could climb a tree. And
No,
look
you
at
see,
shit
there's
through
this.
the window.
I was like, oh, he's just a looker. He's not a raper like that, Biff. Like, Biff is the bad one. He rapes. He just cops an eyeful in a tree with binoculars when you think you're safe in your own home. That's nothing.
But then they find out that he like wants to write science fiction, and all of a sudden he's a problem.
Yeah, that was the
Pedophile.
That was the big thing. It's like, I like writing science fiction. And they're like, oh.
Oh dear.
So that was the foreshadowing there of him peeping on her that he's always been obsessed with, right? and then always been obsessed with Lorraine, and then he just happens to get hit by a car.
He falls out of the tree, gets hit by the dad.
Yeah, and then the dad's like, "Well, bring him inside," and then Lorraine's like, "Oh my god."
Yeah. Except
You.
it happens with Marty instead.
Well, spoilers, man. We haven't gotten there yet.
I think that's where we're at now.
Okay. Yay, falls from a tree and it's Marty instead. Yeah.
That's the one. She's crazy, and they don't say it in like because I watch the subtitles. It doesn't come up on the subtitles for good reason. But he's like, like mom, is that you? Oh, it's okay. You've been asleep for 16 hours now. Oh, I had this crazy nightmare. You know, the whole thing, and he's like, whoa, you're my mom, but you're so hot. You're so hot. You're so young.
It does say it on the subtitles. It said it on Netflix when I was watching it.
Hot.
Yeah.
Really?
It goes, ha, mum.
Yeah, right. I
Yeah.
didn't read that right.
But like, has he never seen a photo of his mom?
I guess not.
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like
they
in all
did photos
defense,
a lot.
yeah, in all defense, like his mum was hot, but like,
She was 17 at the time.
Ew.
yeah, right. I'm
Gross.
too old for that now. Yeah, my bad. No, but like, I mean, in all defense, she was a good looking girl, but you don't say, "Hey, mum, you're fucking hot, eh?" I mean, unless you're in Innisfail.
Like you're all boys, right?
Correct.
If you went back in time at 17 and you saw your mom,
You're like,
States,
would
I
your
think
first
clear.
reaction be, "Oh, you're hot"? Like, really?
Nah, I'd like, I don't want to have a conversation with my 17-year-old mum. Fuck that.
Yeah.
17-year-olds suck.
It'd be like, fuck, you're annoying. Can you shut up, please? Jesus Christ.
It's like, "Oh, you're so hot, mom." Like, ugh.
boom.
Like, first reaction. That is disgusting.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, your first reaction to your mum being young is like,
Yeah.
"Wow, you're hot as fuck." Let's do this, but let's not do this because you're my mum. And
It
also-
wasn't even, yeah, but he was like, no, yes, no.
Yeah,
And then he was just like, I can't.
can't.
Not like I shouldn't.
you just
He
see like
says, I can't do this.
the photograph. He looks at it and just getting like retarded, like. Marty, we're gonna do gotta do something about your kids. Well, we're going back to the 50s to stop himself. Ah, beautiful.
Do we have anything else on the creepy scene when he first meets his mother?
I mean, the downstairs thing, like the whole the jailbird Joey thing, like, oh, we tried to take him out of his pen and he cries anyway. It's like,
Yeah.
I just loves being locked up.
yeah,
Some people do that.
yeah, that's a thing. Apparently,
In the 50s, that was cool. It was cool to go to jail in the 50s. So they were like, yeah, this is dope.
I just want to meet jailbird Joey.
Jailbird Joey.
Make a movie based off of that guy.
Yeah, man, like the untold story.
Wild.
It's just him in the joint.
I'm sure there's fan fiction out there for it.
I'm
Dang
surprised
it,
you
we've been
didn't
looking at
find
the
it.
wrong fan fiction.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, it had to come like off it like that. Like, oh yeah, we got some fan fiction for this film, and it's just all about him.
Just
It was just-
Joey.
Then we go to Doc Brown's house.
Yep.
That's where we go from there. Only thing I really pulled up there that really pissed me off was that like people still like praise Thomas Edison, and the guy was like pretty renowned to be just a fucking thief.
You're just a Tesla boy. That's fine.
Yeah,
AC versus DC.
it's a whole thing. Let's talk about the first time he meets George then, because like wouldn't George be suspicious growing up that his son looks exactly like the guy his wife wanted to actually fuck?
Now, yes, but also no, because this has happened over like 8 days or something like that, like in total. He's not hanging around them all the time.
Yeah, okay.
So like, in one part
But
of
he
your
does a
brain's-
lot of like he does a lot to help them both out. Like
Yeah, but like you'd think in your head like, oh, this person got us together. We'd remember who he is. But in all, like 8 days, a few hours here and there. There's probably days where they didn't even see each other.
I just feel like Marty would
30
have
years.
grown up and George would have been like, Did
Probably-
she fuck that guy?
Well, let's see, like 30 years, and then like Marty's born. Like, did he call you out of nowhere? Did Calvin Klein call you out of nowhere and bang you?
Yeah, I thought we had some going there.
Because he's the youngest, isn't he? Marty
He's the
Klein.
youngest, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like they had 2 kids, and then all of a sudden the third kid looks nothing like you.
Within reason.
I'd be more upset going like, oh man, Calvin Klein now owns an underwear line, and I'm here writing shitty whatever the fuck George McFly does for a job. Like, and Calvin Klein's out there fucking just swooning women and making dudes wear underwear. I bet Lorraine's pretty upset about that. She's like, I backed the wrong horse.
Yeah, and another thing, like he's talking about writing this book in high school, right? So he's writing this book in high school. In 1985, the first copies of his book were released. Did it really take that cunt that long to write a book?
When that happened, I was like, surely it would be like his third book or his new book. Like it
Yeah.
wouldn't be his first book.
Like, so what the fuck has he been doing? Like,
Writing is hard. It takes time.
Yeah, but how are they so much more successful as a family?
They could have gotten money from other avenues. You could be writing for TV shows or...
Yeah,
That's true, Pete. You didn't mention any of that. Aaron's got a point there, okay? Don't
like,
just point
well,
to it.
nice to like make things up. I'm just working with what exists.
Can we talk about the guy in Biff's gang that's wearing the 3D glasses?
He's the fucking coolest guy there.
Fuck, why?
Isn't that Billy Zane?
No, Billy Zane's another dude, but he's there.
Yeah, Billy Zane's in it.
Yeah.
I was trying to pick it the whole time.
Yeah, Billy Zane's like, he's like leather jacket dude, like cone back.
Yeah, but not that. Not glasses.
No, not glasses. Glasses is a shorter dude. Yeah, I don't know how he saw anything. Like, get him. Depth perception's just all fucked up. Just run straight in the door.
Got him.
Got him.
Why did they simulate the plan after he explained the plan? So when they're like talking about like catching the lightning on the wire and shit, and then they make it, then they do it, and everything catches fire. Like he explained it pretty clearly. There was not really any need to simulate it.
Marty's an idiot.
Doc likes to make those things.
Just seemed pointless. That's all.
Oh, it is 100%.
Because the
Funny.
audience of this movie, they're like 5 years old.
That's true. Vanilla science fiction film. Again, we go back to that.
This movie is designed for people to be like nowadays to be on their phone and like look up every like 3 minutes and be like, I know what's happening. Look back down. Look back up. I know what's happening.
Did he fuck his mum? Nah. Keep it back. When is he gonna fuck his mum?
That's coming.
So is his mum.
Probably not.
Oh yeah, he just goes to how good is this? The soundtrack is so good.
You forgot the part with the underlying racism.
Yeah,
about
it's a bit
like
of that.
Which bit? Oh, the mayor to be.
yeah, with the mayor. Then they're like, you can't be black and a mayor or whatever they actually
Yeah,
say.
colored mayor. That'll be the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I guess like
Go back to
that's
sweeping
pretty
floors.
true to the 50s though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not.
They-
it doesn't mean it's
But
right.
it's the same
but-
guy that's also speaking with it in like that Dave Chappelle fake white guy voice,
Yeah.
cleaning the floors in a diner.
I feel like that's a put-on voice for him in the 50s.
It definitely is, yeah.
But also,
I'm gonna be mayor. Yeah, that voice. Yeah.
But also the musicians at the dance, they were called spooks from memory. Like they were like, which is a racial slur.
Were they the
Shit,
Spooks?
were they?
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that. Jesus Christ.
Biff or
Oh,
like
God.
Biff's gang, one of them calls them like a spook.
Yeah, but
But look out for the spooks as they're getting out of their car.
He could just be racist.
Oh, they were, yeah. That was,
Yeah, but like that might not be the band name.
this is coming up to one of my big ones, but it's gonna be a big music nerd thing.
We'll skip that for now. Let's talk about how Marty keeps looking at his mum's tits in the car.
Yes, that is on my list.
But like his plan, again, you're old boys.
Yep.
You go back in time.
Yep.
Okay, how does my mom not like me? I could say something bad. I could just tell her, you're ugly. I don't want to see you. Go away. No, he's like, I'm going to sexually assault my mother, and then you're going to save her. That's
Listen,
his
father.
plan.
Listen, Dad.
I mean, like, I
That's his plan.
I summarized it a little more, but wow, his plan is I'll fake rape her and you can come save her.
That is, what the fuck is wrong with Marty? I mean, I
So
know he
true.
gets this from his dad, being a peeping Tom.
Yep.
Yep.
But what the fuck, Marty?
Yep. There's so much rapey behavior in this
Like,
film.
that's his
Yeah.
first thought, like, oh, I know how girls don't like, they really don't like being raped.
Yep.
Oh, what?
But doesn't that plan backfire on him?
Oh, it sure does. God.
Yep.
Lorraine is also putting on some low-key rape vibes, but like in her house as well.
That's very
so
true.
she's not like innocent in this, but
Oh,
like,
no.
she's obviously nowhere near as bad as like
Oh, no.
the other two.
Yeah.
But like the
Oh no, she's just a bit thirsty.
oh, she's thirsty.
So
She's
thirsty.
thirsty as fuck.
I think that once Marty's out of the car and there's that scene with Biff actually trying to rape her, that is fucking really dark. Like that's almost too graphic for
But
that
it's-
moment
it's
there
like
when she
children are watching this.
yeah, and like
And
they,
he's-
they just don't understand.
Yeah, but like I learnt that rape was bad. I also knew what rape was at that. Like then I was like, I learned what rape is and that it's
Tender
bad.
age of 8. Like,
Yeah,
oh.
and I was like, what is this? That's rape. Oh, this doesn't look good. It's not good. Oh,
She's got tears in her eyes. Just help me. It's like, dude, this
It's
is
awful. It's so heavy. Look at us
heavy,
using
man.
heavy.
heavy.
Wow. Nice work.
Yep. Oh, it's super heavy.
What's wrong with it? Is like something wrong with the gravity? Like
How did he slice his hand with a screwdriver?
he's trying to like.
Makes me-
Jimmy it. Jimmy in. You ever Jimmy anything? No, I don't think
he
so.
cut his hand
clearly
so
a-
bad he couldn't play guitar.
He was clearly
Peter.
a reefer addict, and he was being clumsy, and
I've never cut my hand so badly with a screwdriver that I haven't been able to use that hand anymore.
For legal reasons, Sam has also never used the reefer.
the reefer. What's the
Reefer
reefer
madness.
madness? Yeah.
You seen that the video of reefer madness?
I've seen some of it, but
It's
yeah,
fucking wild. You can see it on YouTube.
yeah, I need to.
It is
It's been a
wild.
long time since I've seen that.
While we're here in this sort of, before we go into the
Into the dance.
sweet music dance scene, we got anything else?
All the rest of what I have is pretty much just little one-offs that have nothing to do with the story.
Yeah, and I think everything
Yeah.
I was going to say is more or less touched with Lorraine
Lorraine.
being touched. I guess is yeah,
Lorraine being touched.
yeah. It's like
Almost like a little boy with the Catholic Church.
yeah, exactly like that. I mean, it's funny how like George comes to the car and he thinks, oh, it's Marty, it's okay, I'll pull him out. It's like, hey, you get your damn hands off her, and then it's like, oh no, it's him. I might bounce. Like,
Oh, this is okay.
oh, it's just Biff. You go ahead raping until he's like, wait a minute, maybe I do have a conscience. Like, maybe I'm not just a steaming pile of shit.
I mean, maybe he was thinking about taking a few steps back and then just peeping.
And
Yeah.
maybe he was going for a peep. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, maybe I could. Hey, this is kind of.
Now you're making it worse, Monica.
Maybe this is kind of
I
hot.
really don't
you
like
know?
him now. I don't like him more.
Like, this is kind of hot. Keep going. No, wait, no, I want to go. Get off.
This is awakening something in me, isn't it?
This could be me.
Oh, fuck. Just gets the binoculars out. He's just sitting outside the car with his binoculars.
No.
Peter.
No.
You're his wife. You can smack him. It's fine.
That CG scene where his hand's disappearing is so bad.
And that's a retouch, the one we would have seen. They redid that scene again because it was so bad the first time around.
Oh, God.
That's version 2.
Oh, well, version 2 is horrendous.
It's funny because, like, again, someone just grabs Lorraine and, like, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah, he has to think about it again.
Like, she's screaming, like, help me. And the dude's like, no, you're mine now.
And that affects his like birthing, like he starts to fade because of that. It's like, wow, was there like a chance where he just doesn't come?
Yeah, there's a
Well, it
chance
would have
that
been
he's
funny
like,
if his hair just started turning orange.
And he's looking at his hand, and it's just like freckles growing on it. Like,
No, that was like all of that hurts so much to watch. It's just like, dude, come on, like fuck. And like, they write everyone so basic. Like
Yeah.
everyone is really two dimensional in the film. There's not a lot of character development. Even in George, like there is, but he's like even at the end when he's older and he like tells it how it is to Biff, he's still awkward and dweeby and annoying. You know, like he doesn't. He's just like got a little bit more of a backbone.
yeah,
That's-
like a little bit more.
That's his character development. Marty has no real character development whatsoever.
And Lorraine's just a prop. They just like switch between the men.
Yeah.
She has no say in any of this.
She gets hotter in the future, I suppose. But like, back to the
Future.
frickin' Sam. Back to the 50s. The thing that annoyed me, worst sin of this whole entire film.
Yep.
That guitar was not built yet.
The 335.
Yet. That came out in 58.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna do a quick Google.
The ES 345 was not built till 1958. So that was either a prototype or it just wasn't invented.
I like how
Peter is right. It wasn't until 1958 that the semi-hollow body double cutaways came out.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
There's a few things I have. Like,
That's a real deep cut right there. Just throwing that out to you. That is like a deep cut.
He's such a nerd.
the second I saw it, I'm like, that wasn't out yet. I'm like, I need to get the date on this because I know it's not out yet. Like the guitar, like the way they
This is
finished
your
it.
one major fault with the movie. Like everything else was perfect. I stole everything
No,
from my
it-
life.
no, it
But
did
this
make-
one thing was what broke the movie.
It did make me rethink it because I didn't think that they came out with that particular style till a lot later than they did. So I was wrong. I proved myself wrong for myself and then proved the film wrong as well. I thought it was like a lawsuit thing, which,
Like Epiphone Gibson. Lawsuit
yeah,
shit.
I thought
yeah.
that's where it came from. And I was like, well, that's 72. But it's not. It was that early. So I was like, okay, so that's what made the lawsuit more.
I think the 8 people listening and myself can solemnly agree on this. Music things.
What an interesting point, Peter. Thank you.
Yeah,
Very
sorry.
exciting.
So anyone who does listen to music and is into guitars, yeah, that's for you.
This is my life, though, every time we watch any show. Like, oh, look at the guitar. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it is a
Cool.
guitar. Very good, Peter.
Yep. Yes, Peter. Good guitar.
Oh, look at that. That's not plugged in. Like, it's a show. Who cares?
Well,
They didn't play this live.
it needs to be
I have a
live.
music one though as well. If that makes you feel better.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Marty McFly creates rock and roll
By stealing a black
by
man's-
stealing.
Isn't that just the Beatles though?
Chuck-
And the Rolling
yeah.
Stones?
Pretty much. To the point where like they even call up the original guy and he's like, "Hey man, you looking for that sweet sound?" And just like puts the phone out and was like, "There it is." Puts the phone out like, "Yeah, check it out."
Just
He's-
creates a time paradox.
He's already like on the way. Like Elvis is already out making songs. He's done a song and it was Maybelline. I checked. He's already done he's already popular. He's already paving the way to rock and roll. And then some white guy comes out and he's just like, "Here's a little song that I'm going to make that your kids are going to love."
Yeah.
Jams out on it.
It's a blues riff and B. Watch me for the changes and try to keep up.
Yeah.
Peter's always wanted to say that to a fan. Like he's just like, I'll do that one day.
But like another thing is how like if rock and roll's not around at that stage, they did pretty good,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah.
they're like, fun fact,
It's
rock
like
and roll's already out.
he does the whole thing, and then the guys are like, tink, 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 tink.
They look confused, like what? And then it's like it clicks. Oh, I now know what he's trying to do.
Yeah.
I also don't know why they had to make him sing in that scene. It is so fucking painful to watch.
so awkward.
It's cringy as fuck. They could have just had like the black dude sing, and it would have been
as if
sweet.
he knows the words to fucking.
Yeah,
Johnny
but
Be
it
Good.
wouldn't matter. You wouldn't go as if this guy knows the words. They could have just called him Chuck,
My
and it
hand's
wouldn't have
up.
fucking mattered.
My
Like
hand is
it
up.
literally would not matter. No, more people would watch fucking Marty, the whitest, jockest dude in the world, sing fucking, was it Chuck Berry?
Johnny Be Good.
Chuck
Chuck Berry.
Berry's-
Yes.
Yeah, Chuck Berry's Johnny Be Good.
Fucking masterpiece. By
That
the way.
makes less sense than just having someone randomly guess the words to a song.
He never learned to read or write so well, but he could play the guitar like a ringing a bell. Go, Johnny, go.
Okay.
Gonna be good.
Johnny Be Good.
What was your point, your argument to me?
Oh no, that was just the fact that like if the black dude just started singing, he'd be like, nah.
That would bother you more
Yeah.
than Marty McFly
Yeah, no, it would
singing,
because he
which
knows
is
the
clearly
track.
overdubbed as well.
Yeah, I know, but he knows the
Nah.
song.
Nah.
So so
Nah.
you expect someone else from the 50s to just be like, oh no, it's all right, man. I'm gonna scat over this shit. Just watch me lay this down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Wouldn't
song
matter.
wasn't invented yet,
Wouldn't matter. They could have just ad-libbed some lyrics.
and that's
I would have
somehow
enjoyed
manages
that
to
better.
Be Johnny Be
They could have
Good.
just made that the band.
Yeah, but
Made that Chuck
he's
Berry.
playing a song at a time, like, and that's the point. Like, he's pulled a song from his time. Well, it's not really from his time, but a song that was not made in 1955, and brought it back and played it in 1955. Of course, he has to sing it and play it. Like, if that gag's gonna work at all, like he didn't even have to play the song.
Why'd you have to say gag?
Because family.
For me, it's a no.
Yeah.
I just can't vibe with it, yo.
No, I mean, like it doesn't need to
It's
be
a
there.
painful scene, all in all. Like they could have just had him play guitar. They could have just had him play guitar and have someone else. And they didn't even need to do Johnny Be Good. They could have just done another song and had him do some cool guitar stuff.
Yeah.
Like they could have just done a cover of a song in a rock and roll style.
Yeah. Quick side note: how quiet is Monica trying to get drinks out of the fridge? Like every other podcast, she just says. Monica's just like. There we go. There we go.
Nailed it. My other point on that scene is that when he starts like going like hard on his solo, it just sounds like shit. Like it actually just sounds like shit.
Yeah, I don't
It just
think
sounds messy and shitty.
Yeah, because he's spending too much time trying to be like every like guitarist between the 50s and the 80s. He's like borrowing moves from everyone and like doing all that dumb shit. Like he's doing some Angus Young shit. He's doing fucking what he does, the slide back thing. He does the windmill thing. He does.
So he's just
like,
another white guy stealing moves.
Yeah, straight up. And yeah, of course, it's all gonna sound shit because he's like putting it all into one. Like trying to do the windmill in time. Like yeah, it's just dumb. Kicks the amp off, which the amp was on a stand,
It was
and then
on
when
a
he kicks,
Pepsi box.
well, it was on a
See,
Pepsi box,
fucking
and yeah,
Pepsi,
when he
Pepsi
kicks
free,
it,
buy it.
it's off the box. Suddenly, the box is gone, so it didn't fall as far and die. Like someone's like, "No, you can kick that amp, but you're not gonna like kick it off something. You can fucking just put it on the floor. Now kick it as the reverb unit, and it goes off."
Bong.
Yeah.
That's it from me. That's sort of where it ends for me. Is the that sort of scene, and then everything I don't have a problem with after that.
No, the car not starting thing fucks me off. Like the car doesn't start. He hits it so many times, headbutts it, it starts. I'm like, as if that ever happens.
It's the car's also powered by magic and emotions.
I'm like, where it needs to work.
Yep. Plot armor.
Also, he only says Great Scott 3 times in that film, which is like way too little.
Okay.
I feel like they really like ramped it up in the other two movies.
Yeah. It's like not enough Great
They're
Scotts.
like, we need more catchphrases, and he's like, "Great Scott," and they're like, "That's the one." The rest of what I have is really just like, why keep the rapist around to even just buff your car?
Yep.
Like
That's
they're like,
enough.
haha, he's a servant now. I'm like, you're still keeping a rapist there.
Also, they credit him. They're like, oh, if it wasn't for him trying to rape me, we wouldn't be in love. And it's like
Classic romance. Yeah, that was fucked, right?
they actually say that.
Yeah. Why?
Biff. You know. It's
Yeah, like
just
they're like,
Biff.
"Oh, that's just Biff. Like,
Biff
fuck you.
being Biff.
And my other thing was like, why is Doc always in a rush when he now has a time machine? I don't understand.
Yeah, he comes in all flustered and shit.
He's always like,
Oh, we gotta hurry up. It's like, no.
Marty. And I'm just like, brah, breathe. You have a time machine now. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
Maybe he's trying to get in and out before the contract on shit. What was the name of the Marty's girlfriend?
I forget her name. Jeannie?
Jessica?
It probably doesn't even start with a J, but
No.
we're just retarded.
Yeah, but before one of her
Jennifer.
Jennifer.
Before Jennifer's
Close
contract ends up, and then he gets another Jennifer.
Well, her mom was dying of cancer.
Yeah.
Well, that's a reason to stop being
That's
in the
why
film.
she stopped.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Dick.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Yeah. Wow.
I do have a fun fact as well, but it was the fact that it wasn't that her mom was dying of cancer. Again, rude, buddy.
Yeah.
Steven Spielberg was like credited as like a producer
Yeah.
on this, and I was like, okay, that's weird. And he wanted the car to be a fridge,
How?
but
There was talk of this. Yeah.
he
I
decided
remember
it was a
reading about
bad idea, and then he went with the car. Like he finally saw the car done up, and he's like, all right, yeah, that the car is much better. But he decided not to go with the fridge because he was afraid kids would lock themselves in the fridge.
this. Oh.
Fair
I
enough.
did. I remember reading something about that years ago. Yeah.
I think that's the best.
Yeah. Just Back to the Future, them jumping in the fridge. Yeah, bud.
And then, like Back to the Future 2, they've got a fridge that flies.
Yeah, we got the Harvard conversion done in 2000 and 2005. 2005, I think, is the future for them.
2015.
Oh, 2015?
Yeah. 2015.
Also, Marty sleeps in jeans.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
But
That's
they
a
do
serial
make a
killer.
comment on it though as well.
I don't care. It's still fucked.
What was the comment that they made on that?
That she put his pants on her herb chest because that's how porn start.
No, because I made the same note about him sleeping in jeans and how it's weird, and then he like walks out, and I think like his brother and sister are like, "Why do you always sleep in? Why you got jeans on or something? Did you not?" Rah, rah, rah. Like they make. A
Oh, yeah,
point
you're
that he's
sleeping
got-
in your clothes again.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Maybe he's like a never nude or something.
and never nude.
A never nude.
Under
It's a
under his
thing.
his jeans, he's got like some smaller jeans, it's like knee height.
Yeah, like little cutoffs like that are like just below the crotch. Just bam.
Yeah.
Jeans.
All right. Well,
Got nothing else towards the end of
Yeah,
the film.
like-
That's about everything.
that's
Besides
yeah,
the
that's
rape
me.
and
Yeah.
keeping the rapist around as like a
Yeah, token.
morbid reminder of
Of the most traumatic night in her life.
And,
Yeah.
and let's not like let her guard down. Like,
yeah. How can she sleep at like?
I
I need to go
couldn't.
for an afternoon nap, and then you just hear Biff buffing your car. Biff buffing your car. Yeah, that's the word. And then just being like, oh no! All of a sudden, I have like a panic attack and crippling fear and anxiety.
I'm not going to leave the house now. I'm going to lock all the doors and lock the bathroom door and stay in the bathroom.
I wonder.
Yeah,
I always wondered.
holding a knife just at the door, like.
I wondered if like the first, like before the whole time thing happened, like when he rocks up, she's just not there, and then later on, as soon as he leaves, she's there. I'm like, was she hiding? Was she hiding from him because he's a fucking like,
Yes,
yeah.
this
Probably.
makes sense.
But now she's got the confidence because her man will punch him if he gets handsy again. But it's okay. Could you imagine that conversation? Like, no, it's okay. He doesn't rape anymore. I've sorted him out.
Like, oh, yeah, sure.
Nah,
It's
yeah,
safe.
look, he's just raped once. Like, it's
One
all right.
cheeky punch to the face stops a raper for life. Everyone knows this.
Yeah,
Everyone.
Who was the real hero?
Oh,
Biff.
Jesus fucking Christ.
No, it's
It's Lorraine for being surrounded by all those fucking creeps and then, like, not moving. She's like, nah, I can deal with this. Sure.
It's so trailer park of her, but I was gonna say it was Doc. Doc fixes everything, makes everything work.
you're all wrong. Just straight up.
It's Einstein.
The terrorists.
Actually, no, I
true
sorry,
heroes.
I take mine back. It's that guitar for fucking going back in time.
That guitar discovered time travel before they did. Why is it the terrorists, Aaron?
This whole movie would not have happened if the terrorists didn't ask for plutonium. None of it would have. Peter wouldn't have his favorite movie that he has like T-shirts that he's definitely not wearing right now.
Fucking yeah, I got it in Japan when I was playing a gig with my band.
Yeah, well, it's true, but it just happens to look like back.
Should I go get my one and put it on as well?
Yeah, bro.
I'm surprised you're
Matching.
not. Like without the terrorists, we wouldn't have had a movie. There'd be no flying vehicle. Doc wouldn't be shot. There's no going back in time to try and finger your mum. None of that.
Jesus Christ.
Fair enough.
The terrorists win, guys.
Terrorists win.
Terrorists win.
All right. Who has the most punchable face?
I mean,
Besides-
that's pretty obvious.
George.
George.
Yeah, I actually went. No, he's a dick. But I'm judging this on a face that when you see,
I think
you
his
want to
face
punch.
is very punchable. It's very bumpy.
I feel like I'm a George guy as well. I'm like,
Man, you'd
and
flog
I feel
the
like
shit
I
out of
could.
that kid.
I feel like I could take
Oh, yeah,
George
I
in a
could
fight.
take George too. Anyone could take George.
Yeah, that's why I'm more confident in saying like here's a punchable face. So if I punch Biff, it'll hurt me more than it'll hurt him.
But George could take Biff.
Now, that one time he did one good punch and it just happened to like hit him in the right spot of the jaw.
Yeah,
or
it gave him
whatever.
brain damage enough for him to never try and rape his missus again.
That's
Like,
good though.
Just one good hit.
That's a good punch. If you can just like one cheeky punch again, and then it's just like no more raping.
Yeah, done.
You couldn't even go to court for that. You're like, why'd you punch him? He tried to rape, but now I punched him. Doesn't want to rape anymore. They're like, wow, that is good.
I don't know. It is America. They probably be like, you still punch someone.
Yeah, was it in self-defense? No, it's for rape. That's not self-defense.
No. That's the defense of someone else, and we don't like that.
Yeah.
Did you shoot him? No. Well, I don't know, man.
You guys know, one punch can kill, right?
Sam's debating whether he has to cut this. Just looking on his face. It's like,
Do I mark it? Do I mark it? Do I mark it?
no, we move on. We leave it in.
Yeah, we
All
haven't
right.
said
If you could change something about this film to make it better, what would that thing be?
Less rape.
Less rape. I agree. It's just like uncomfortable.
Yes,
It's like
it's
uncomfortable
very
amounts
uncomfortable.
for a PG film.
Yeah.
Children's
Yeah.
movie.
I went keep
that back.
the original Time Machine as the fridge.
Jesus
I
Christ.
would just really like to see
Einstein in the fridge. Like,
well, if
got to
there
get the
was,
fridge up to 88 miles an hour.
like both Doc and Marty in the fridge.
All squeezed in, like, and the dog, yeah. Go and at the end, like.
This
could you
explains
imagine-
the fucking refrigerator in Indiana
I was
Jones, the
just
Kingdom of
thinking
the
that
Crystal
too,
Skull.
Yeah.
He really wanted a fridge and something.
Could you just imagine, like, the end scene where he's like, no, it's about your kids, man. It's about your kids. And, like, feeding the fucking, the future thing that created
Mr. Fusion.
Mr. Fusion. And it's just feeding it into a fridge. And then, like, come on, bring her too. It includes her too. And everyone's just squeezing into a fridge. Like,
And that would be to make it better. Oh, and I guess no rape. No rape and a time machine fridge.
Piers, you have anything?
I was all about that less rape thing. Very much all about that less rape.
Let's just we're all.
I like that we're all okay with the incest. We just don't want any of that rape.
I mean, yeah, the incest.
Yeah,
Well, if there's two things we can get rid of, it's the incest too.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm
now leave
I'm
the
there too.
incest in. It's the fridge.
Yeah. You get to get you
The
get
fridge
to
takes
pick
precedence.
If I have to pick two, all right, it's the rape and the fridge thing.
Okay. If you could recast a leading role in the film, who would you replace them with?
Well, Michael J. Fox did replace the other guy. There was a guy that was like did
Eric
the
Stoltz.
Yeah.
he did the almost did the entire film, and then
I want to see that version.
The car, with him driving around in the car park, is actually
the
other
original
guy.
footage. Yeah, right,
Yeah.
rock and roll.
But it's
yeah.
so far away, they're like, no one's going to be able to tell. And I saw what he looked like at the time. You couldn't tell. Like, that dude looked like Michael J. Fox.
Yeah, because he's like he was already the I can't believe they did a whole film and then be like, yeah, guys, about that, you have to do it again.
Did he not screen well or something?
They wanted Michael J. Fox from the get go, and
They
he
said
was
something about like how he came off on screen.
yeah.
It's too serious, maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know.
they were always after him, and they couldn't
Which
get
would
him
not
because he was
mesh well with those rapey tones that
No,
already
yeah.
existed.
it really wouldn't.
Yeah.
he was tied up contractually with Family Ties. He was like, and then the second he finished filming, I think it was like the next day he was like, I can do it now, and they're like, cool, let's make this in film again.
And then he goes and does like Teen Wolf or something.
Yeah. Yeah,
Beautiful.
Christ.
I'm a man, I'm a wolf, I'm also a basketball player.
I've never actually seen that fucking
Oh, bro, it's bad. You should watch
Oh,
it.
it's so
one.
good. You haven't seen it either.
No, I haven't.
No, it's on our list.
Oh, now you've got two lists.
Yeah, I got the list of films like that I need to shit on, and a list of films that I haven't seen. Yeah.
Or you can shit on Teen Wolf. It's not good.
It's like do two in one go.
So did we have anything for who we'd actually replace any of the actors with?
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Marty,
Yeah.
Emilio Estevez,
Yep.
Doc, Clint Eastwood, and Biff, Josh Brolin.
Could you imagine?
Josh
Wow.
Brolin would be a great Biff.
Yeah, but
It'd be intense.
How
Though.
old
It'd be
was
a
he
drama though.
Hmm?
Was he like time accurate though? Like,
Yeah, I looked that up.
yeah.
It's all good. He was a teen in like Goonies. That came
Yeah,
out
he
the
was in
same
Goonies
year.
as a teenager.
Came out the same year, and he was all bully.
Oh yeah, he was. He would have been a good Biff. Yeah, that makes sense. And yours was so much better than mine.
Like thought out, time period accurate.
Mine was not.
Clint Eastwood as Doc would have been fucking great as well.
I think he's too stoic though, isn't he? Like,
Nah, he can be a bit silly.
can he?
Yeah.
I want to see it,
Real racist as well.
but that fits the movie.
Did I go forward in time or did I go back in time? I've jumped back and forward in time so many times I've lost count myself. I would replace the lead with Jason Statham. And to make it time accurate, I guess it's going to be Jason Statham with hair when he was an Olympic diver.
Why?
Well, I didn't realize we were doing time accurate.
No, but why Jason Statham? You're like, I just need more grit. Like Guy Ritchie needs to come and do this film instead.
I would fucking love a Guy Ritchie Back to the Future movie. You fucking kidding me? I'd watch that. But just like Jason Statham rocking up like, oh yeah, I have to get him to have sex with my mum.
Yeah, listen up, George. This is what you got to do.
Hey Biff, I know what you're thinking. Think something different. I'd be fucking mad.
That'd be pretty dope. That'd be pretty good. Peter, did you have anything?
Fuck, I'm rolled for that, hey? I don't know. Like, shit. You've nailed it. You're close.
I'll take it. I'll
See,
take it close.
That's bad for a podcast.
What, you've nailed it and you're close. Sorry, Monica, you've nailed it. Aaron,
That's my name.
you're pretty close.
Thank you.
No, I wanted that dramatic pause just so everyone knew who it was.
Got nothing, Pete?
I don't actually.
Yeah. I got nothing either.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that I was like, fuck, I'm going to be that guy. And then Sam backed me up. Booze for life.
Teamwork makes the dream work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, the last question before we move on to that dreaded fan fiction.
Yep.
If Tim Burton was holding a Helena Bonham Carter to your head and would only let you live if you got a line from this film tattooed on you, what line would that be? There's a lot of good ones here, but I'm really, really hoping we got some bad ones too.
I'm going off to what I usually do as a huge back piece.
Yeah.
I've gone a little different. I've
Okay.
gone a little B range here. So it's a quote.
Okay.
Now the full quote, which I'm not getting, is if my calculations are correct, when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, and then the quote I will be getting in a circle around my anus would be, "You're gonna see some serious shit."
Yep. That's beautiful.
That's
Yes,
fantastic.
maybe in cursive. I haven't figured that part out yet.
Could start in cursive, and as you like write serious, you could get like impact or something.
Yeah, real
And
bold.
Comic Sans. Like,
Papyrus
It's not
would
a
be
joke
good.
though, okay? It's not Comic Sans.
sorry.
There's a serious tattoo.
That
There's
is-
not long and hard about this. No, but that would be my tattoo.
That's beautiful. Peter?
I thought about this and I thought it would be really funny to have. Do you know, like, I mean, because I'm a fat cunt, so it'd be even better. There was like a big thing in like the early 2000s where people would get like the sort of like it was like very Mexican-esque, having like the half like rainbow-esque looking writing
Semicircle. Is that the word you're looking for?
semicircle.
Yep.
That's the one. Thank you, Sam. And it just says it's heavy. Like, across the guts, like crushing guts. It's just like,
It would
"It's
work
heavy."
better though if you went like follow the line of your belly. Like it's heavy.
Heavy.
I do believe they're called cum gutters. I think.
That's what I was gonna. Yeah, no, I did mention cum gutters. Monica made that exact face that she's making there, which to the people listening is like
It's,
squinting
it's
with the
a
eyes.
face of half disgust and
Very-
half lust. I'd put it down.
Yeah. I'm going with the lust part, but yeah.
Just kidding. It's all disgust.
Yeah.
Sorry, Peter.
It's the same as a cum face. It's all good.
I want a divorce. I'm announcing it now.
It's live right now. Yeah.
Peter's like, "Can you please cut that?" Sam's like, "No."
No, this is going. This is in the bonus features too. Yeah, like the Patreons can hear the point where Peter's wife
You can actually pinpoint the exact moment when his heart breaks. All right, 2 tattoos down. Who's next?
Monica.
Monica.
Mine's super lame now.
After mine. I really took the bar and just raised it, eh?
I just want like a tramp stamp of I'm your
course you do.
density. Just because no one would get that ever, and it's dumb and it's Just don't.
Yeah, no, I get that. I'm your
It's,
density.
it's the lamest one I could find. I'm your density.
Oh.
Because I'm like, that's
Could you imagine just like, I mean, sorry, I know you can't, but just like,
You mean like you cannot?
no, because like,
Could you imagine?
okay.
Sorry,
okay,
my
so just
wife,
imagine,
the only
just,
lady
sorry.
here.
So, okay, so imagine that you're plowing
Okay,
your girl from
this
behind,
makes-
right? And you're just
on.
like looking straight down, and you're like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
it's like we're the Millers, and he has the regrets.
yeah. I gotcha. I like how you fought so hard for that originally. Like, yeah, okay. So imagine you play.
Samuel,
Fuck, I don't know. I didn't even think about this line.
you never do. We're getting
I never
sick
do. I
chats.
generally do pretty good like improv, but I just don't have it in me right now.
Just be lame and do great, Scott.
She said, "That's what Marty's mum said."
Okay,
she's getting
okay. This is the best I can do because it just came to me thanks to Monica saying "Great Scott." I'm sorry you have to hear this. I would get "Great Scott" tattooed on my penis when it's erect, so you can only see what it says when my penis is erect.
And she says, "God."
It's just some messed up, weird-looking font. When I'm
God. You're like, "Are you in the Game of Thrones?" Like,
People would see that and think that you were like either really drunk or really gay at one stage. Like, who's the great Scott?
yeah, who's Scott?
Are you Scott? I've been calling you Sam this whole time. And you're like, no, it's actually a line that an old dude says in an 80s movie. You know what? You can. The door's there. I'm so sorry.
You can go now. Yeah. There you go. That's my contribution.
it's not a Back to the Future film. You can leave, and I'm not gonna rape you. It's okay.
I might look at you with binoculars on your way out, but that's but that's acceptable now, so it's fine.
Okay. It's about time we move on to the fan fiction.
God.
This is a thick one.
I really want to put together like a real little funk thing. So when I say fan fiction, it's like wah, 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 wah. All right. Our fan fiction this fortnight is titled "Sacking His Mother." It's a It's a fan fiction by King Parody on fanfiction.net. Okay. This fan fiction is actually pretty much in full. I didn't cut anything out of this. It was actually pretty short. I was lucky about that.
It's still 11 pages.
But this is one of the few ones we've done where it's a lot more dialogue. So it was only 8 pages, but to the way we spaced it out and the way we break it down so Aaron can do the dialogue better is stretched it to 11 pages. So it's not actually that long.
That performance.
Okay.
Yeah, lock yourself in. This is a doozy.
This one's heavy.
Oh my god. I have so many fucking lines.
Yes, so many lines. So I think before we even congratulate Aaron on doing this, Aaron's about to do 5 different characters.
I want to feel every character, by the way.
Pardon?
I want to feel every character.
Oh, that's not going to happen.
All right. Shall we get started?
Yeah.
Peter, would you like to lead us in, please? Marty couldn't control it. His mum back in the 50s was a smoking hot babe. There was no doubt about it. Sure, in the 80s he had Jennifer, and she was cute and everything, but his mum was amazing. She was rugged, she was passionate, she did things that Marty never in his wildest dreams would have expected her to do. Drinking and smoking was the tip of the iceberg. Marty knew that his mum was a smoking hot babe. He had to go back to the 50s and have sex with her. Marty pondered over these exact words over and over again.
I need to have sex with my mom.
At first, it creeped him out because she gave birth to him. And what would happen if he got his mum pregnant? Would he, in turn, have given birth to himself? Or would he have had an older brother? There were too many questions. Too many possibilities of something going wrong, but the passion burning in his mind of the memory of he and his mum about to do it in the car outside the school before the enchantment under the sea dance made him want it more and more. There was only one person he could talk to about helping him out in this mess, and it was Doc Emmett Al Brown. Marty skateboarded over to Doc's place and busted in through the doors. After the DeLorean got smashed into it by the train, it took Doc a long time to rebuild it. He actually had to take the remains from the flux capacitor and create a new one from scratch. But after a month of steady work, the new DeLorean stood there in his garage, looking like a beacon of hope for Marty's sexual frustration.
Marty!
Shouted Doc, running over to Marty and pulling him over to the DeLorean.
I need to show you the completed time machine. It looks great, Doc. Really.
Said Marty, patting Doc on the shoulder and opening the driver's side door.
So you got the keys on you? I want to take it for a spin. Oh, that's me. Fuck, this is already confusing. No can do, Marty. The DeLorean has to go through a bunch of tests before she's ready to travel through time. With all the issues we had last time, we wouldn't want that to happen now, would we? Great Scott! Imagine if you never came to help me get back out of the Old West, or I never helped you return from the 50s. Oh, the 50s.
Said Marty in a dreamy voice.
It's just not safe.
Said Doc sternly.
Come on, Doc. There's got to be a better way to test it out than a good trip through time. If there's an issue, we can always fix it later.
Said Marty, begging.
No, Marty, it's not safe.
Groaned Doc, slamming the door of the DeLorean.
Since when are you so gung-ho about traveling through time anyways?
Emmett, dinner's ready! Clara shouted from the kitchen.
I gotta get going, Marty, but I'll let you know when we can start testing the new DeLorean. Perhaps have ourselves a little adventure. Sure, Doc.
Said Marty.
Damn.
Groaned Marty as he slumped against the DeLorean. That's when he saw it glistening from a shelf on the side wall. The keys. Marty quickly glanced around the room, hoping beyond hope that Doc didn't have any security cameras set up. Thankfully, he didn't. And even if he did, it's not that big of a deal because Marty can just go back to the time he took the DeLorean and stop himself from doing it. Marty checked his watch.
5:35 p.m., July 5th, 1985.
Said Marty, opening the door to the DeLorean and hopping inside. He adjusted the time circuits, flipped on the flux capacitor, made sure that the car was full of plutonium, and backed out slowly from the garage. Marty glanced inside Doc's house where he saw Doc with Clara and the kids all busy eating dinner. Doc didn't notice a thing. Marty was going to play it cool until he was out of sight and then go back and screw his mum. Marty made it all the way out of Hill Valley, then stomped on the gas, gaining speed. 35, 40. He continued to race down the street, hoping no cops were around. 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 86, 87, 88 miles per hour. The DeLorean took off through time, leaving a trail of fire behind. He popped back into reality right behind an ice cream truck whose driver grew huge eyes and collided right into the stop sign, seeing Marty appear from nowhere. He screamed and shaked his fist at Marty as Marty drove to the old billboard. Marty parked beside the bush and covered it up. Then he made his way down to Hill Valley. Marty had one thing in mind, and that was plowing his mother's hot ass. So he got especially pissed when he saw Biff Tannen trying to make moves on her.
Hey, Lorraine, I know you're kind of the girl who wants a big, strong man, and I have one right in my pants.
Growled Biff, cornering Lorraine right out the front of the cafe.
Leave me alone, Biff. I'm with George.
Right, Lorraine trying to get away from him.
George McFly, that guy's got a lucky punch on me and he thinks he's all tough and shit. Well, I guess we'll see how he likes it when I take home his girl.
Laughed Biff wickedly.
Leave her alone, Biff.
Yelled Marty, running up behind him and attempting to take a swing at him.
Since when you become the physical type?
Laughed Biff, shoving Marty onto the ground.
You want her? Come get her.
Marty shoved himself back onto his feet and glared at Biff. He then took another swing at Biff as Biff grabbed his arms and threw him back onto the ground.
I can do this all day.
Choked Biff, stomping a foot down on Marty's chest.
You're nothing but a little chicken. Nobody calls me chicken!
Yelled Marty, getting back onto his feet and punching Biff in the face so hard that he spun around and landed into a truck of manure. Lorraine ran over to hug Marty and kiss him.
Calvin, you saved me. Don't mention it,
said Marty, kissing her and hugging her back.
If there's anything I can do for you, anything at all,
said Lorraine happily.
Well, there is one thing,
said Marty, winking at Lorraine.
Ever since I went back home, I couldn't stop thinking about you. I have a girl back home, and you know, she's great and all, but she's not like you. You're beautiful, you're rugged, you're everything I want in a woman, and I can't live without you. I love George too, but honestly missed you, and I think we'd really miss out on something special that night. I was so infatuated with George after he punched out Biff that he was trying to rape me, and he just saved my life, so of course I love him. But there's just something about you too that I could never escape from. I know that first kiss was like kissing my brother, but now it feels like a whole lot stronger than that. What do you suggest we do?
Asked Marty.
Well, this could be our little secret. George doesn't have to know.
Said Lorraine, checking out Marty.
Sounds heavy.
Said Marty, checking the scene. Biff was still knocked out in the pile of manure, but his car was open and the keys were still in the ignition. Marty grabbed Lorraine's hand and they ran, hopping into Biff's car and taking off down the road. Lorraine giggled and said,
You're such a rebel, stealing Biff's car for us.
Marty smiled and drove further down the road, putting into the parking lot of the school, where they were never able to finish what they started. Lorraine noticed the area and instantly began to blush.
So romantic.
Marty pulled his mum's shirt off, staring at her perky breasts, and they began to kiss passionately. Marty felt so wrong kissing his own mother like this, but looking at her, he couldn't help himself. She was the most beautiful woman he had ever seen before, and there was nothing that was going to stop him from getting with her this time. Lorraine was so happy after all of her pursuing to finally be with her dreamboat, Calvin Klein. She was kissing him as he pulled off his life preserver and started to unbutton his shirt, all the while continuing to make out. This was heaven, and she didn't want to leave. There was something twisted and wrong about kissing your own mother, especially when she was your age and completely in love with you, thought Marty, wanting to explore even further. He slid off her poodle skirt, seeing her panties that were already wet from their heavy petting. He began to stroke her vagina, tickling her clit with his fingers. Lorraine moaned in ecstasy, leaning against Marty.
Oh, George.
She moaned and then stopped.
Oh, I mean Calvin. Oh, it's perfectly all right.
He said, lowering his head and started licking the lips of her vagina.
Oh, fuck me.
She moaned in pleasure, leaning down in the passenger seat of Biff's car as Marty went to town down there. She hoped that nobody decided to check out the school today, especially not George. He had been coming here lately in order to talk to their creative writing teacher about a science fiction novel that he was working on. But it was the weekend, so she hoped they would be safe. Those thoughts quickly drifted away, and soon all she could think about was Calvin going down on her and the complete bliss that she was in. Then she decided that he needed to feel her too, so she tore off her panties and climbed on top of him. She felt his dick slide in and out of her vagina as she laid on top of him, panting heavily. Marty was doing this. He hadn't even gone this far with Jennifer yet, and there he was, in a car that he stole from one of his biggest enemies, with his dick inside of his own mother's vagina. Of course she didn't know she was his mum. If she did, she probably never would have agreed to this. Marty tasted bile in his mouth because his body and mind knew how wrong this was, but his heart was too strong and he continued to go deeper and deeper inside of her vagina's lips. Every moan from Lorraine meant that he was doing something right and he wanted to please her in any possible way. After a while of riding his mother, he pulled out and she instantly began sucking on his cock. This was heaven for Marty, seeing her sucking and spitting and occasionally gagging. He came right inside her throat and she started to choke with a smile on her face. They slumped back, laying against each other in the car, when from out of nowhere, Biff grabbed Marty's throat and tossed his naked body onto the ground.
You fuck my woman, in my car, you butthead!
Yelled Biff, punching Marty in the face.
Leave him alone, Biff!
Yelled Lorraine, leaping to Marty's rescue.
And what are you gonna do about it, you little whore?
Growled Biff, staring at Lorraine's nude body.
This!
Yelled Lorraine, kicking Biff right in the nuts, and she grabbed Marty's hand and took off to get dressed inside the school.
That was great!
Moaned Lorraine, rubbing her hands down Marty's chest and over his dick.
Yeah, I really needed that.
Agreed Marty.
Am I ever gonna see you again?
She asked.
I can guarantee it,
Replied Marty, pulling on his orange vest. He kissed his mum and ran down the street, ready to head back to his own time and to never think about this again. He did what he had to do, and now that it was done, he never wanted to think about it again. The end.
Oh my god, that was gross.
Oh, that was so uncomfortable.
The best part was definitely Monica's face.
Oh, that is
That's fucked up.
disgusting. Oh my god.
But, real quick. 2 things. Aaron, great work. You did a seriously good job maintaining those different voices. Like, fuck, I couldn't do that. Secondly, this is the first one we've read that sort of has like a nice backstory. Like,
Yeah,
a bit of
everything's
setting.
just been to fucking, but this was just like, we're building up.
Has references to the film.
A bit of detail that you don't
detail.
need, like, oh yeah, George is writing it.
Yeah, I think they mentioned
Yeah,
the
when I
word.
mentioned that, I'm like, what?
They mentioned vagina way too many times than needed. And then he went down on her lips of the vagina. You're like, okay.
Okay, virgin.
Hey, I'm sure King Parody
Also,
gets
like-
all the vagina.
It's vulva.
Vulva.
Lips
Vulva.
on the vulva.
The vaginal.
For bad vaginal
Vagina.
joys.
Good times. That was gross.
Wasn't
Yeah,
too bad.
I think
Nah, it was good.
I feel like we've been doing like these gay ones for so long now. That you start going to the straight.
Do
ones.
straight stuff. I'm like, this is weird.
This is weird and gross. What
Dick
is this?
in a
Like,
vagina? Usually it's me fucking myself in these, and I get it. I guess it is, but like in a different way.
Put it in the butt.
but butt love, you know.
What stuff? Yeah.
Oh, all right. So with that done, it's probably time to summarize, shall I?
Yeah, let's give it a go, Sam.
All right. Back to the Future
Sorry, I don't know why that made me laugh.
is really quite a vanilla sci-fi film with heavy incest vibes, creepy peeping Tom dads, too much rape, using fake rape as a plan to make someone hate you, a clueless parody. All the characters come across as like clueless parodies and they're all stupid and just don't make any sense. There's lots of underlying racism going on. That Red Gibson guitar didn't exist till 1958.
Thank you.
Pete, I got you there, bro.
Thanks, bro.
Doc only says Great Scott 3 times.
Thank you again.
Disappointing. And I think the biggest and most final points that we had to make was that basically they keep their rapist bully around the house and they credit him for their relationship. With all that, I think it's pretty safe to say that
It's a bit shady.
Thank you for listening to another fantastic episode of It's a Bit Shit. We want to thank Monica for coming on and putting up with our shit when she has to put up with Peter's shit every day. And also for joining in and helping to bring a fresh perspective to all things a bit shit. If you're enjoying the show, make sure you leave a review on Apple Podcasts, as they are basically the daddy of all things podcasts. And if you aren't subscribed to us on anything yet, make sure you do so by heading straight to our link tree and selecting your preferred platform. You can do that by going to linktr.ee/itsabitshit or linktr.ee/itsabitshit. Thank you so much for listening. Have a wonderful day, night, eternity, whatever suits you. Goodbye.